Hey guys, Claire here, and in today's video we're going to talk about all things Harry and Meghan. Prince Harry is officially in New York City, and New York is not messing around with his security. Isn't it interesting that just about everywhere around the world provides proper security for the Duke and Duchess, besides Harry's country of birth? The Duke, sporting a tanned smile and some finely tailored suits, was first seen attending the Who dinner to end violence against children. Now, Prince Harry was in very good company for his first engagement during his New York trip. Seen here with the Queen of Belgium, actor Forrest Whitaker, the Prime Minister of Belgium, the Director General of the World Health Organization, as well as other agency heads and dignitaries. As we can see here, the Queen and Prince Harry warmly greeted each other with smiles and a little hug. Also, is that not another Hollywood A-lister, Forrest? Hey Forrest, how you doing? Didn't the Daily Mail tell us that Prince Harry and Meghan are snubbed by A-listers? But for the past couple of days, all I see are A-listers everywhere. Just saying. Also, look at how relaxed and happy Prince Harry appears to be. I love that for him. And fresh off his engagement with the World Health Organization, the Duke was spotted at the Concordia 24 Summit for the Diana Awards. I mean, look at him. He just emanates warmth and friendliness. He really is his mother's son. Now, I highly recommend you check out the segment. It was incredibly empowering. These two young ladies did a fantastic job.
The second issue I want to comment on is climate anxiety. I'm from Jamaica, a small island developing state, and we just faced a Category 5 hurricane, the first of its kind to be experienced that early in the hurricane calendar. Think on that. And there are other persons in other countries that were affected. And so many young people across the world, developing nations, states, etc., that are constantly being faced with environmental degradation and just feeling that when will my country literally slip away into the ocean? Young people are being affected by this. That constrains us from being able to dream and aspire and to achieve. So those are some of the issues I want to comment on, and I would just hope that you reflect on that as we think about how we can support young people.
Thank you, Christina. As someone who comes from Indonesia, living in Jakarta, climate issues really is a big problem for all of us, especially considering that Jakarta is destined to sink in a couple of years due to climate issues. But what I'd like to discuss today has to do with education and the access to that. My advocacy work is with the children in Bantar Gebang. It's Southeast Asia's biggest landfill site back home. And there are 1,000 children that we help of 7,000 children living on the trash site. And if you can imagine...
Now, according to this article, Prince Harry was met by a rapturous applause. There was standing room only at the Concordia annual summit event, and attendees quickly pulled out their phones to record videos of Prince Harry walking on the stage. Show up and do good.
And with yourselves, Christina and Chiara, very, very nice to see you again. We're here to listen to you. Well, let's start with this. What worries you the most about the world today? From your own perspective, but also your peers, what worries you, but also what are the biggest barriers to young people reaching their full potential?
If I was the British royal family, I'd be upset too. If I was the media, I'd be upset too. The other two can connect to the young people like Harry and Meghan can. They can never. And that's the problem. Instead of at least give a tool to be able to connect to young people and issues that are impacting them, you guys are still making negative stories, reporting leaking stories. No. Take notes, empower young people, listen to them, hear their voices, what concerned them. Because if you guys continue to just keep putting Harry and Meghan down, you are not going to have a Monica for long. I'm telling you. Take notes from him.
Agreed. Now, I didn't get to see it live because I was, working, but I caught the recap and it was very interesting. Definitely recommend that you check it out. Someone shared a screenshot, and of it showed 14,000 people were watching it live, and that's not even at its height. Now, the Daily Mail has already written a slew of articles. Are we surprised? Going so far as to create an itinerary for the Duke, which of course includes his trip to the UK for the Well Child Awards. Obsessed. Also, I saw screenshots of people sharing certain tabloids of the UK having a live link to Prince Harry's summit. Irrelevant? Where? Meanwhile, in the UK,
Buckingham Palace briefing against Kensington Palace. It's almost like that family don't like each other. You may have seen this digital imagery, the video footage of Prince William visiting Edinburgh, an absolutely amazing and beautiful city if you ever get a chance to go. The problem for William, the royal family, and the fact that it's 2024 is that there were no crowds. There were small groups of people requiring no security, no barriers, no crowd control. And what that says about the royal family in 2024 on a glorious sunny day, to me, is that their interest and their popularity is diving faster than a plane that's out of control. The British taxpayer-funded working royal family need to really sit down and think why people are not interested in going to see their vanity projects and hear more, yet more, about their unlimited wealth, time and resources.
And to round off the events for day one, the Duke is seen at the Halo Trust event in New York City. Senator Chris Coons of Delaware was also in attendance, and he had this to say to Prince Harry.
Prince Harry, thank you for your leadership, for your heart, for your vision, for sustaining the legacy of your mother, and for inspiring a whole new generation around the world to be engaged in this critical work against the scourge of landmines.
I have no doubt that Princess Diana would be very proud of her son carrying on her legacy and her work. And as the Daily Fail, as well as other UK tabloids, continue their crusade of misinformation about the Duke and Duchess, please keep this in mind.
Those who believe what's written in British press when it comes to people like Meghan Markle, the royal family generally, I don't know, whoever, celebrities. Kate Beckinsale, I don't know if you know that I think it was a few weeks ago, she was quoted as saying something by one of the journalists, and she made a point on her Instagram saying that I never met the guy, we never had a conversation, it's all made up. Well, she just posted this 12 minutes ago, basically saying that there's a lie in Daily Mail and it's my mother. So basically, a journalist has turned up at her mother's door. Her mother has stage 4 cancer. You'd think they'd be a little more empathetic towards cancer sufferers, right? But she's 77 years old, she's got cancer, and she's basically saying that obviously she's trying to get dirt from my mother, who they probably believe is, maybe a bit befuddled because she's older, she's got cancer. Some dirt on Kate. That's just disgusting, knowing that she's going through an illness right now. But that's the Daily Mail for you. So really, anything you read in there, if it follows your narrative or the narrative of the other side, really question it, because the Daily Mail is just absolute trash.
So this is a message for the Daily Mail. We've already had a problem this year, as you know. Well, when you pretended that I had done an interview with a journalist of yours that I've never met in my life and hope never to, in which you blamed my mother for some health issues that I had earlier on this year. My mother, who, as you knew and know very well, has stage 4 cancer, is 77 years old and has just lost her husband of about 40 years. So obviously, I objected to that, precisely because that's extremely distressing for my mother to be blamed for anything at this point. In that case, given that you know that, why did you yesterday send a reporter to my mother's home out of nowhere to ring on her doorbell and ask her questions? Now, the usual protocol, as you know, is that you phone the person's publicist. And I know you've got my publicist's phone number because you've definitely called her before. You know this, but you thought it was better to just ambush this woman, my mother. And it feels to me that the thinking behind that is, we know she's 77. We know she's got cancer, and we know she's just lost her husband. Hopefully she's befuddled and cognitively impaired enough that we can confuse her into giving up some dirt on Kate. Well, that's not just insulting, misogynist, ageist, and vile. It's underhanded, manipulative, and about as low as you can possibly stoop. So we all understand, all of us in this industry, we all understand how much you hate women. But leave my mother alone.
How horrible is that? Just when you think that there are no levels that the Daily Fail can sink to, they continue to surprise us. And this is why it's important for people with the resources like Prince Harry, like Hugh Grant, like Elton John to continue to call out these tabloids.
So the smear campaign continues, but not without swift correction. A once credible news outlet became a part of the invisible contract after Harry's chief of staff decided to mutually part ways. And of course, it could not be because Willie's right-hand man also decided to depart his post. This rehashed accusation about bullying claims originally came from the senior Kensington Palace aide, Jason, about 5 a.m. emails. Here's an example of one of those emails they were talking about for Meghan. I guess it's better than covering the announced trip to somewhere in the UK where Willie was met with 0 crowds. Prince Harry gives us the timeline of this particular lie about his wife in his book Spare, and it started right after their very successful first royal tour to Australia, Tonga, Fiji, and New Zealand, which was followed by Prince William parroting the media talking points. And then the Mean Girl antics ramped up with 2 secret sources about who made who cry right before Prince Harry and Meghan's wedding. Prince Harry confronted his brother and his father about their part in these allegations, as well as, the palace investigation, which Prince Harry and Meghan refuted in a 25-page letter to HR. By the way, the findings of the palace investigation were never published. Current claims have been immediately debunked by Harry and Meghan's employees, whose office is in Hollywood, which the Hollywood Reporter should have known, while the couple work from their home office in Montecito. So it says she's not marching around. That's nonsense. The employees even share her email signature, which states she might be emailing at any time, but she does not expect a response outside of business hours. If you're also grateful that they can counter the lies with truth in real time, don't forget to leave your comment because they're going to continue to show up and do good.
Anymore. I've been living a lie. The truth is, I'm lazy. It feels so good to be me again.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, hit that notification bell.